Shalom. All praise Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shem Kakadash. Honors to these men in the truth and down like-minded ones and elders and apostles and all elder apostles who teaching this truth and knowledge relating to this dogma and doctrine. The Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahweh. The Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahweh putting the spirit of the elders, apostles, men in truth and like-minded ones and elders who are teaching a like-minded doctrine so we can know this truth and knowledge relating to the doctrine. And call Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shem Kakadash and give all praise Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shem Kakadash. This relates to article relates to WEF, that's the World Economical Forum, all power control grid to delete independent media. We'll read a little of this article, go into it. WEF control institutions are working together to round up political dissidents and punishing them for the crimes of opposing their dystopia agenda using all-driven surveillance and control grid. That goes pretty much mildly censorship. You know what I mean? Using this AI technology, the form of Google is a thing I've seen related to Google. The feds, they want information relating to Google to give information to the government to relating to certain users relating to controversial content. Feds equal Google equals users equals controversial content. So it's basically a form of censorship. You know what I mean? You already have the thing with South Dakota and Georgia relating to pretty much limited or censoring relating to certain Bible verses that can offend a certain group or category groups of people, relating to certain Bible verses. Because we know the scriptures can be it's sweet, but there's a lot of bitter in them scriptures especially related to prophecy. You know, I mean, even vulgarity, violence, and different things. So it goes to censorship. And the dissidents, the rebellers, the ones who are going to rebel, the opposition, you know what I mean? So that's where the dissidents go. So let's look up that word dissidents. Dissident, person who opposes official policy, especially that of an authoritarian state. And what's that official policy? Official policy goes to pretty much the agenda or narrative that's being pushed by the same powers relating to that agenda, man. Go back to that article. Using an all-driven surveillance and control. That's through the AI technology. You know what I mean? It's all through the AI technology. Independent journalists Lee Huffman warns that WEF infiltrated banks colluding with the WEF controlled bank tech companies to not only censor but silence dissidents, blocking offending customers from accessing their money. So these are the things they can do relating to social and even financial credit system, man. You know what I mean? So socially, they can try to censor you. Financially, they try to censor you. You got the medias, you know, the social medias, platforms when they checking the Big Brother, checking different things related to certain people anyway. So, you know, this is just different, more advancement of tactics. Don't try it, man. You know. naturalnews.com reports. That was the previous article. Previous I just read. I'm gonna read the rest. Natural News reports he tells the story of rebel news reporter David Menzies, who was arrested recently while trying to interview attendees to a pro-Hamas rally in Toronto. Menzies was arrested just 3 days after the announcement of his lawsuit against the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, which is the RCMP, for the pattern of intimidation and exclusion following the shocking display of police brutality against David. So that's pretty much a consequence for doing certain things. Even through Menzies was in full compliance with the law, present his identification upon request, as evidenced by camera footage. He was arrested and detained simply for exercising his right to document a public event. The last time I checked is, you have freedom of assembly related to the freedom of press. So freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of press, last time I checked. So because he went against certain things, there was a consequence, man. Similar such incidents are occurring in the United States as well. One of the most notable recent being the arrest of the Blaze Media Steve Baker for covering relating to the January 6th insurrection, Infowars. Owen Schroyer was similarly arrested and thrown in jail for 2 months for covering relating to the insurrection. And this is just information relating to the media, for the press, man. Covering certain information, vital information that people probably would need to know. But because they did these things, exercising that right, there was a consequence, man. And the globalist politicians and judges colluding with the big corporations through formerly free Western world to remove certain bedrock rights and God-gifted freedoms and replace them with the government-issued privileges, man. Human rights. Your freedom of speech and different things is a guise just to make it what it looks like, man. It's not really that anyway, especially if it goes against the narrative or of the agenda, man. As long as it goes in accordance and in compliance with that, or in accordance with that, you have the freedom of speech. But as soon as it goes against a narrative, a controlled narrative that's pushed by the agenda of the ones in power, then your freedom of speech really is no freedom of speech, man. And really, you don't, even under the guise of these statutes and different things that guise of different statutes relating to laws and different things, man. You really don't, man. For example, in the private sector, man, using these platforms, your freedom of speech is limited because you're under the guise and rules of relating to their platform. So you have really limited freedom of speech. You just, because they control that particular space. That's their platform. So you have to still work according to their guidelines and different things in order to continue to use that respected functionable space, man. I'm going to get some scriptures. So in a matter of speaking, these are all total totalitarian type rules, man. And really, they can do what they want because they have laws in the books. They just don't always implement and apply, but they have them in the books, man. And when the time comes, they're gonna impose those rules, man. This relates to what I was reading previously. They will tell you that you still have a right to free speech and freedom of the press until you do what journalists have always done in the past and challenge the government narrative. And that's the point, man. You're going against the status quo, man. You know what I mean? As long as you stay within the status quo and the guidelines of the status quo, everything is good. Your freedom of speech is good. But as soon as you go against that, say anything which they will call so-called controversial or or label as misinformation or conspiracy theory, then your freedom of speech is in jeopardy, man. Let me see what we got here. Yeah. And if you do this, you will lose your status of freedom of speech protections. As journalists and government rebrands you as a conspiracy theorist, label you as a liar, in a matter of speaking, a disinformationalist, making you vulnerable to arrest, and that's what you're seeing. So, can even ban you in different things, just like certain people like Alex Jones and different other, high people. They were banned from certain platforms because they told relating to certain information, or or speaking about certain things that the ones in that platform didn't like, or it went against a certain the status quo of narrative, man. So they punished those people for that, man. All power tyranny. It's important to note that Schroeder's conviction came with the declaration that he is not really a journalist, but rather a conspiracy theorist. A conspiracy theorist is pretty much, in their eyes, one a disinformationalist, or pretty much a liar, man. One who just makes up stuff, man. In a matter of speaking, this somehow legitimizes, in the eyes of the state, which is the powers, that Schroeder should not be a free man. The way of the police state, and that the police state is the powers, man, is able to nab these people so quickly with such seem ease, has to do with how the all-power control grid is watching them, both in real life and online. That's Big Brother, man, through the medias, different things, different entities relating to overall, man. For more than 5 years now, journalists and citizen journalists alike have seen big tech censor and bury their work behind unfavorable algorithms, man. So these algorithms, words that are questionable or go against, relating to certain platforms, social media platforms, that's what that thing is. And Hoffman explains that some even that banned and suspended from social media, just like I was saying, man. So certain people were, as a consequence, were suspended, even banned from certain social media platforms, man, because of conveying certain messaging or displaying or conveying it in a certain manner related to that seemed that deemed offensive relating to the platform they were on, respectfully, man. But now the globalists are taking their war against the truth to a new level. They're going to KILL shots, having journalists and citizens, truth tellers, actually arrested and removed from society together. And that's what you're seeing with relating to, perhaps with the relating to South Dakota and South Dakota, Georgia, relating to reading certain scriptures. It could be a consequence. Pretty much ban censorship, even arrest, possibly. We'll get some scriptures related to that. Well, I'm going to read the rich ruler over the poor, and the borrower is a servant to the lender. The poor uses entreaties, and the rich answer roughly. That's in Proverbs 22, and that's in Proverbs 18 and 23. And the rich rule over the poor, man. The 1% rules over the powers, over the haves, rule over the have-nots, man. The rich rule over the poor. When the poor uses entreaties, they gotta beg, beseech, grovel, in a matter of speaking. And the rich answer roughly, disrespectfully, because they're in a position of power. They don't have to answer you nicely. They don't have to be respectful to you. Because the power has been what? Given to their hands. Job 9 and 24. The earth has been given to the hands of the wicked, man. So they don't have to respect you. They don't have to respect the 99%, because the 1% control the whole world. You control the money, you control the world. All right, in short, the real journalists being questioned, and the fact that narratives provided by those in a position of power and authority are being banned. Directives that have unleashed such tyranny across the U.S. seems to come from a higher up sources, such as the UN, which is the United Nations, and the World Economic Forum. Both these entitles have said that their top priority in 2024 and beyond is to stamp out disinformation, conspiracy theory disinformation, at least as they define the term. And also another word, blacklist, man. I've seen this on the report, blacklist. Black is bad, white is good, pure. You know what I mean? Really, it's a social construct. Men and truth going this all the time. You know what I mean? It's a social construct of 1681. And it's to compartmentalize and categorize certain people, put them in a box, compartmentalize them, put them in that box that they're not label them under that they're not. You know what I mean? Because black is a color, just like that truck across the street. That's black. Nobody's that color and nobody's that sign across the street white, man. It's a color and it's a social construct, man. And blacklisted is going to be something negative, even RACIST. You know what I mean? So wordplay in a matter of speaking. Let's go with World Economic Forum founder Klaus Schwab continues to brag about how he has penetrated the cabinets of Justin Trudeau's regime in Canada, as well as Emmanuel Macron in France. His WEF Young Global Leaders Program. So pretty set up plants in these institutions relating to these organizations, man. And all part of the status quo, man. Scripture talks about Amos 8 and 11. Let me get it. We'll get it from a GNT, see what it says. Time is coming when I will send famine on the land. People will be hungry, but not for bread, and they will be thirsty, but not for water. They will be hungry for the thirst for the message from the Lord. So they will be thirsty and hungry from the message, hearing the message of God, man. So that censorship's part of that famine, man. You know what I mean? The AI technology is part of that. To what? Pretty much cut that unicorn, which is the internet, right? Number 12, let me say. People will wander from the Dead Sea to the Mediterranean, and then on around the north to the east. They will look everywhere for the message from the Lord, but they will not find it. They will not find it because it's not going to be there at that time, man. Information is going to be cut. You know what I mean? That's why men in the truth say, get it while it's hot, while it's hot on the plate, in a matter of speaking, man. You know what I mean? So, because it's not always going to be here, man. You know, it's not always going to be here. So this is just something short relating to that article. Dystopia, relating to denote an image state of society, image state, or society where there is great suffering and injustice. So that's dystopia. Go to what, 19, what was that, George Orwell, you know what I mean, 1984. That book was in June of 1949, published somewhere in 1949. Relates to an Orwellian system, man, which is the dystopia system, man. A system of injustice, a system of suffering, of trials, tribulations, persecution. That's to come, man. You know what I mean? That gray state, which is a thing they had back on YouTube, that 2014. They showed different things relating to the guillotine, the Masons with the hood, looked like the cake, looked like the hooded mask relating to a certain group that has a hoods on and had a symbol in the middle, and behind it was a guillotine. You know what I mean? And that goes to the no-high laws relating to that as well. And they showed martial law. They showed different things. This was back in 10 years ago on YouTube, Gray State. And one who made that movie was an actual Army combat veteran. Something happened to his family. I guess it was too realistic in there. You know what I mean? But that's it's showing actually what's going to happen in the not so distant future. Man. These things are going to happen. But that being said, these things are going to happen. You know what I mean? So this is just information relating to that article. Something quick. You know what I mean? Let me get Revelations 2 and 10. Get it from a GNT, we say. 2 and 10 of Revelation. Let me see. Don't be afraid of anything you are about to suffer. Listen, the devil will put you to the test by having some of you thrown into prison, and your troubles will last 10 days. Be faithful to me, even if it means death. I will give you a life as a prize of victory, which is a crown of life. And the devil is the ones in the carnal counterpart on this earth, man. You know what I mean? The ones in the position of power on earth, man. You know what I mean? So they're gonna do certain things. That goes to that persecution, man, as well, man. Some gonna be thrown in jail. So that goes to the trials and tribulations, the persecution, man. Let me get 3 and 10 Revelations. Before I get to that, I want to get Matthew 20, I think it's Matthew 27. Let me check it. Let's see what's up. This is what, let me see. Trying to find this thing. There we go. Mark 13. Let me start at Mark 13 and there we go. But take heed to yourselves, for they shall deliver you up to councils and in the synagogues, and ye shall be beaten, and ye shall be brought before rulers and kings for my sake. That goes to the persecution, for the testimony which is a witness against them. And Scripture talks about, think not what you're going to worry about, what you're going to say, for the Spirit will guide you and pretty much control you what you're going to say in a matter of speaking. So, and the gospel must first be published among all nations, made known. You know what I mean? Through the internet, man. And that's part of that, being published, especially all four corners of the earth. Scripture talks about relating to the truth shall be made known, then the end shall come. That's on Matthew 24 and 14. Man. So it's being made, all forms of truth specifically, all forms of truth are being known, being published, man. But specifically, I'm talking about the gospel, man. So and that goes to the point that you're going to be delivered up to the councils, the powers, the synagogues, the ones in a position of power, put in prison, beaten, relating to the persecution, trials, and tribulations, man. Scriptures talk about 2nd Ezra 16. They should be like they should be like madman sparing none. Ones who fear the Lord, man. A great insurrection, those who fear the Lord. You know what I mean? So that's 2nd Ezra 16, around 70 on down. So, you know, they hated you. Before they hated you, they hated me. John 15 and 18, man. And they hate you because you're testifying, you're a witness and testifying relating to, for the gospel's sake, man. You know what I mean? It's not you they hate, is what you're representing they hate. You know, which is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, man. So this is, let me get Revelations 3 and 10. Revelations 3 and 10. Revelation 12 and 12 talks about woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil's going to come in great wrath, knowing, but he has a short time. The devil, your adversary, was like a roaring lion waiting, whom he may devour. 1 Peter 5 and 8. You go to Isaiah 59 and 19. Talk about it should come like a from the east and the west, come like a roar, like a flood, but a standard shall be lifted. So they're going to come in a certain manner when the time comes, man. This is part of that, you know, relating to that. You know what I mean? 3 and 10 go to, because it goes deeper than just the taking freedom of press, freedom of speech, and different things. Really, they want to take rights relating to, under the guise of these constitutions, these statute decrees and laws. The privileges relating to, so-called privileges relating to that, man. And pretty much control the masses, man. The holy-poly, which is the masses of people, man. 3 and 10, man. Because at the end of the day, it's all about control, man. Klaus Schwab said there will be slaves and they'll love it, man. So one who has money has the power. When you have the money, you have the power, man. 3 and 10. Because you have kept my commandments to endure, I will also keep you safe from the time of trouble, which is the hour of temptation, which is come upon the world to test all the people on earth. And that's the whole point. It's a certain thing that's going to test the populace of people on earth, man. That relates to Revelation 13 specifically. That's the major one. That's going to test. Test goes to try, and try goes to test. Which goes the people, man. That's specifically because it's going to be, let's just say, aggressively mandatory, aggressively mandatory in the matter of speaking. You know what I mean? They're going to be aggressive, and it's going to be mandatory in the matter of speaking. Shalak. So that try is going to try and test those people in that time, relating specifically to that and other things that's going to happen as well, man. That's going to be, in the front, in the middle, and in between of those things, man. And that being said, this is just something short, you know what I mean? So, famine of the word, in a matter of speaking, may not be too far off. That being said, this is Zayah Wolf. I hope this helps in some way relating to information. And give all praise, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Bashim Makakada, Zayah Wolf, Shalom. Hope it helps, Shalom.